Practice of reconciling two conflicting ideas is the algebra of revolution. The overbearing intervention of the state government had further exacerbated oporompium and amounting to sadomasochisms. Acrimony and chaos in our community. It was a contumelious stratagem by political jobbers to siphon monies. We suffer what we call political axivia nunan torum. Conclusively, we are a microcosm of the issues in the Niger Delta in the macrocosm.
Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning.
So it is still the same thing. Not proposing any law to punish them. It is appealing to their morality that they should, if all of them decided to just change and be nice, automatically, right, the problem of election rigging and the rest of that will subside. Nothing as punishment for the criminals that perpetrate electoral crime. Sorry, that sounded like like a waste of time, isn't it? But those guys are the ones who are going to decide how your election is going to be conducted. That conversation that you are hearing, so right, then eventually they're going to release something and tell you that 2024 or 2025 electoral amended or something. No, sorry, Nigerian Electoral Act 2025 as amended, and all this chart will be in there, and you have no choice but to just follow the rules. So they will set the rules, and to Akpabiole, they have done so well. The elections in Nigeria have gotten better after the 16 years of PDP. Now, this is another fooling. I am sorry again if it's going to be like a waste of time, all right? But it should be documented. Like I said, these are the guys who are going to set the rules, and this is the kind of the conversation they are having that will later become the rules that all of you would have to obey until it is too late.
I'm sure that even myself and Senator Abaribe, who have been around for almost 2.5 decades in these electoral matters, I know you don't care about political party, you win election in any party. You have a lot of experiences, but you will agree with me that since PDP left, the elections have improved tremendously in this country. Because I recall, I've been close to most of the presidents since 1999. And I recalled in 2007 when I won as a governor, our then president, may so rest in peace, President Yaradua, had to come out publicly to say that the election that brought him as president was totally flawed. I don't know whether you know that. He said it, that it was totally flawed, that the election was full of inconsistencies and rigging. Since then, we have plugged the holes. So now, imagine this last election. We had to go up to Supreme Court, arguing as to whether winning the Federal Capital Territory was the only reason why you should become president. Instead of FCT being counted as a state for the purpose of calculation the 2/3, people are saying, no, win FCT and then you have won presidency. So you can lose in 36 states of the federation, but once you win FCT, that automatically you have become president. And they wasted time. They had panels upon panels in different television studios, and at the end of the day, we got to Supreme Court and back. Common sense could have told us that that was not the intent of the Electoral Act. So we can only do our best. Nigerians will still do mischief, and for those of us from Anambra, we know that there are people who travel abroad during election, crafting papers, and immediately after the election, they go to court, and they would submit papers that you can't even fault, and then suddenly you find them inside the Senate, and the real winner is crying outside. I don't want to mention the name, but Senator Alero, you know the best. No need. So we must find a way to plug the loopholes of such occurrences so that we can have a better electoral system. But just to add, so we can go into other businesses. Is there anybody who is opposed to this electoral amendment going for second reading? Anybody who is opposed to the electoral act amendment going for second reading? Senator Garba, are you opposed to it? Maidoki, are you opposed to it?
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Complete nuisance. Everything they said is a lie, just so you know. Okay? That, oh, if you just win Abuja, then you become president, even if you lose it. That's not what happened. Okay? But I'm not going to explain that any further. But the last part, where he said that when people are doing elections, they will travel abroad and they will be crafting papers and all of that. And before you know it, they will end up in the Senate. He's talking about himself. You see, this particular one that is the Senate, that he becomes the Senate president. Akpabiole did not win the party primaries. In fact, he had to go to court. It was the court that said that he should be the candidate when he didn't even buy a form. He did not even buy the APC form. He wanted to be senator. But he's now the Senate president of Nigeria. So they have a way around where they can manipulate the laws and all of that because they are the ones crafting it. So eventually you are going to see a lot of amendments in there. Some of you will be alarmed. People will talk, people will raise this and that, but they will still have their way. Because people who talks, who raise these concerns are not doing it rightly. These guys don't need talk. In a country where you have opposition that could boast of over 20 million voters, even in a rigged system, if you combine, I'm just using that your last time data, where you could have like about 13 million voters. So let's just approximate that to 20 million because it was rigged, right? So now imagine an opposition with a 20 million supporter, that's like the 10% of the population. And they cannot mobilize 10% of that or even 5% of that voters to picket the National Assembly and insist that these are supposed to be part of the rules. And if they are not, right, these guys should vacate the place, or you know what I mean, like picket the place with tens of thousands of your supporters. Let them mobilize their own supporters too. Everybody will picket the National Assembly. So they will do something. Or you don't have that. Everybody will see all this nonsense they will do, right? Everybody will jump straight to the TV to analyze, to talk tough, and this and that. They will still have to go and follow the rules of these guys. So let's say doing same thing again and again and expecting a different result is no other thing than the symptom of madness. Do you get me now? But let's leave that. In Osun, somebody is calling this APC that, listen, somebody you want to use as the governorship candidate in Osun State or for your, as your candidate in Osun. He's a killer, he's a murderer, everybody knows it. So who are those who are occupying the political offices anyway, especially in this APC, other than the drug dealers, certificate forgers, human traffickers, and of course, maybe murderers too.
ẹ má fi kàjòyè apààyàn assassinate ẹ má fi joyè torí pé àìtọ́ ìkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ níjọ́ òní ẹ jẹ́ kó jẹ́ àríkọ́gbọ́n fún wa nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun èyí tó ṣẹlẹ̀ níjọ́ òní ẹ jẹ́ kó jẹ́ àríkọ́gbọ́n fún wa ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun àní sórí burúkú o àní fọmọ wa ṣàwátì o wọn ò ní pa ọmọ wa wọn ò ní pa wá o ọlátìlẹ̀ ànábì wa ẹni tó bá lóun ó pa wá gbogbo ìdílé rẹ̀ ní ọ̀run o ọlẹ́gbẹ́ ọgọ́gọ́ apọ̀ bí pẹ̀lẹ́ gbogbo ẹni tó bá lóun ó pa wá ẹ̀mí rí ó tán sí i gbogbo ẹ̀mí fámìlì rẹ̀ ò ní dé ọlátìlẹ́yìn ànábì wa Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ẹ má fi kàjóye o ẹ má fò sónú joyè apààyàn assassinate ẹ má fi joyè èmi ń ké o torí tèmi kò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Kò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ o.
Said the woman is from Iragbiji. To those of you who probably don't understand the Yoruba, right? She's saying that this candidate they want to use in Osun State for APC is assassinate you. Assassinate means that he is an assassin. She was not saying that on Facebook Live or anything, or TikTok or anything. No. She was a guest on a radio program in Osun State. In fact, her name is self-acclaimed. They said she is Iragbiji born, self-acclaimed Alaja Falilatu Ero Arike Olokemeji Nigeria Limited. That's I too. So she is known to be very much like a prominent member of the APC. So she's raising an alarm on the radio that they shouldn't make the same mistake they made the last time or the other time. Or this person is an assassin, he's a killer. Don't try to. She didn't tell us who, but it seems that those who knows. I'll say, and that was in Osun. You know, there's something I was going to share with us. It happened in Tanzania. And, you know, that woman who is their president in Tanzania after Magufuli. Oh dear. Her name is Samaria or something. I'm sorry. Right? I'll tell you the story now. All right. So I'll tell you the story after this. The woman that was supposed to be a woman different, she has become something else and currently trending on the social media for all the wrong reasons. She has arrested her own opposition. An election is upcoming where she is, participating. Now she has accused our own main opposition of the treason or terrorism, and she's got them arrested. So that one was supposed to now be in court when another group from that opposition's party, one prominent figure as well, decided to attend the court hearing of this opposition figure before election. While they were preparing to go to court to attend, the country's military came and they arrested all of them too. So in which it is more or less like she's now contesting against herself. Because with that, it's like just taking your positions away. So it was only Shori Abi. God bless you. I just didn't want to jump the gun. But don't worry. I'll mention that again before I go. So yeah, in Tanzania, how is that even possible? Like, why would she be this, And that's why I caught the story and I was like, I'm going to drop it to the diary this hour. So, here.
Huku Tanzania hakunaga billboard za kazi. Kila kitu ni za Samia. Kila pahali. Kutoka tariki. Yani, hakuna kitu kingine. Ona, Mama Samia Suluhu peke yake. Hakuna billboard ya Amco Properties Limited. Hadi nakuzia machaba. Mama Samia Suluhu peke yake. Ukiona taa lolote nieke. Kila taa nieke.
Karibu na kwa ng'ombe.
Kuna taa nieke. Kuna taa nieke pia hiyo. Nieke hiyo. Mama Samia Suluhu. Ati nani wanatangaza mashamba? Watoe unieke. Watoe unieke. Tanzania, are you serious? Na pia hana mgombea, hana mtu wenye wanapigana.
Hawana mtu upinzani hapa.
Hawana upinzani yako jela. Lakini anajiweka kile mahali. Kuna taa barabarani nieke. Nieke. Kila billboard. nieke tu. Hiyo ni ya nini people? Nieke na ng'ombe. Nieke na ndege ya Air Tanzania. Nieke tu. Ukipata tu nieke. Niegeze. Tanzania. Huku Tanzania hakuna.
Yeke. Kilo day. Wetin happen? She's everywhere. They say she's spending like almost her life depends on it. So she was supposed to have probably like done well for the country, but as usual, it's Africa. So they spend more money on media to continue to publish or publicize them as doing well. But the opposition seems to be kind of like gaining ground enough that she is now using her state power during the year of election to put them away, all of them. So she will be running against herself. In one of the scenario, right, where the opposition figures were picked up when they wanted to go and attend the court case of another presidential candidate. The presidential candidate, right, the member of the opposition, prominent figures there, going to attend the court case. Just as they were picked up by the soldiers in their pickup. Power, just charge your opposition on trumped up charges and let the court just deal with them and put them away in the middle of an election, right? Somebody's done that before, and I think it's the Museveni in Uganda, where they have a Bobby Wine. And Bobby Wine controls the new generation of Ugandans, by the way, right? And they are also having an election soon. Everywhere he goes to for his campaign, right, Museveni soldiers or police will be there, not to provide any form of a security or whatever, but just to see something to kind of like act on. Sometimes they cause the issues themselves, like just cause some kind of like a problems, drive into other campaign, the campaign convoy of Bobby Wine, and sometimes they just arrest him. You just see that you just come and say, you know what, you can't campaign here, you are under arrest, and they take him away. That's how they do the election until Museveni will be declared the winner. So for a woman, it's kind of crazy, right? Well, that's how they misuse their state power, because they could do it and get away, I think, until people get tired and they're like, no, we've had enough, and that's it. Just like what they did for Maiyegun General today, when he went to attend the court case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Shore was leaving the court premises like everyone else until the team of the FCT police commissioner accosted him, and he was told that the commissioner of police in Abuja wanted to see him. You saw the drama this afternoon, right? So he went with them. The police now came out later this afternoon to tell everybody that the reason why they arrested Omoyele Sowore was because when they arrested Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, his brother, they also arrested 11 others, making them 13. That they all said, well, their leader is Omoyele Sowore. So, and it was the one who led them to restricted areas. They didn't even get to any restricted areas, right? But yeah, so they said that was the reason why they went to pick Omoyele Sowore. So they're going to detain him and then charge him to court. For what exactly? Listen to Benjamin Hundeyin.
Today, Sowore has been arrested by the Nigeria Police Force. And you would ask, why was he arrested? It is very simple.